Hello everybody, Kyle here. So I'm super excited because I'm actually going to be able to bring you, for like the first time in 2 weeks, two videos in one day. At least for me it's the same day. Maybe in your time zone you had to go to sleep and then the next one was up when you woke up, but hey, they came out close to each other. Um, yeah, I did it. I realized that if I do the battle first, it takes so long to upload that I fall asleep before I can do or whatever. Sorry, the battle first. If I'm trying to do two videos in one day, if I do the longer one first, even though I was thinking like, oh yeah, I'll get the long one out of the way, and then I could just, oh my gosh, I'm yawning. Every battle video I yawn or hiccups. That's the theme in this channel. What was I gonna say? I would be like, well, let's get the long one out of the way so I can have all the editing done and everything, and I can get it uploaded, and that way all I have to do is the short one, and then I can get that done and go to sleep. It'll be easier to do that while I'm not tired. Well, the problem with that is that by the time the long one is done, I'm so tired that I can't focus on the short one. So what I did this time is I did the short one first because it's going to be done so fast that when I need to start the long video, I won't be tired already. Bam! Logic. Yeah, so we'll see how this goes. But I did, as I said, I'm still breeding my mono steel team. It is taking a long time for me to hatch some of these Pokemon with everything just the way I want. So again, guys, I'm sorry that it's been so long in waiting. I really hope that when this match finally happens, that it will live up to the long wait you guys are having to, pardon me, you're having to take before you get to see it. But here we go. So, but that'll be coming up. But again, because since I'm focusing on breeding that team, I haven't been breeding anything else. I figured you guys might get kind of bored of seeing the same team over and over again, so I went ahead and switched up a few members of my team. Come on, Kyle, seriously. So I still have the Choice Scarf Staraptor, the Life Orb Starmie, and the Mega Garchomp. But I went ahead and brought back my Assault Vest Goodra. I brought in my Physical Aegislash, who's actually mixed defensive, which probably wasn't the best thing to do now that I think about it, because I don't utilize my special attack at all. So while it does let me live special, here's my thought process. He's mixed defensive. I have a full investment in my defense and my special defense. And then my last one's in my HP, because obviously when I'm in blade form those switch, so I'm not getting as much attack as normal because I invested into my special defense as well. Wait, no. I am, huh? Duh. Because it's not like I can put all 500 something points. Yeah, no, yeah. Sorry. So, because of Azu's / StrifeZack 343, I am also running a weakness policy Aegislash. The only thing is, I haven't actually used this Aegislash before. I bred it, and I used it in like one random match. Pardon me, against like a non-competitive team, because I just thought it was really cool to use Aegislash. So, yeah. And then Whimsicott, I've only used in about 3 matches when I was trying the Sun team out. I'm still not very good at the Sun team. This is my Sun-setting Whimsicott, but I did trade out Sunny Day for Taunt, because obviously I don't need Sunny Day on this team. It wouldn't be doing very much work for me. It'd actually be a lot worse for me. So I trade Sunny Day out for Taunt, and then Whimsicott's also my physical wall. I have max defense, max HP, and Cotton Guard, which is so good. You'll see in this match, not to spoil it, but you will see Cotton Guard pay off pretty well. But I'm trying to run a weakness policy Aegislash. The only issue being that I am not very good at realizing. Come on, Kyle. Seriously, I'm not very good at my gosh, I'm not very good at calculating mentally what I will and will not be able to survive as Aegislash yet. I haven't used him enough to be like, okay, well, this is gonna use a non-stab flamethrower. Can I survive that in proc weakness policy? Maybe. I don't know. This is gonna use an earthquake. Can I live that? I don't know. Like, I don't know that yet. So before we start this match, I do want you to know that since this was the first match I did after mixing up the team. I was at work and it was kind of slow, so I wrote down a bunch of Pokemon that I knew that I already had bred and was trying to figure out what would be a cool team to put together. I did end up, like I said, keeping 3 of the old ones and only putting 3 new ones in. But I figured at least that way I would be a little more competent than if I just grabbed 6 Pokemon and threw them together and had no idea what I was getting into. So basically I'll do like I did with my last team. I'll use these 6 for probably a few matches, and then when I notice there's something that's not quite working, I'll switch one of them out for another one, and then maybe we'll end up with another really good team like the last solid 6 that we had. Ooh, the solid 6. I like that. I think that's what we'll call the 6 that I was using up until now. The solid 6, because that's a good team. But yeah, so again, just getting into this match, keep in mind I am going to misplay a couple times, because I'm still getting used to what exactly this team can do. But that's how you learn. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now, I forgot to talk about my opponent's team. That's okay. That's okay. I'll talk about it as we go. Now, people that have Darmanitan almost always lead with Darmanitan because it is their choice scarf, and they figure, well, if anything, I can U-turn out. And literally, every single time my opponent's led with Darmanitan, I've led with Staraptor, and they've stayed in because they're choiced, and then I've killed them with the Brave Bird, because Choice Scarf Staraptor does outspeed Choice Scarf Darmanitan. Now, maybe this thing wasn't scarfed. I don't know, because I went first and I killed it. Maybe it was Choice Band, or maybe it was Life Orb. I have seen both of those before. But either way, it doesn't matter because it died, so it's gone. Now, Swampert came in, and these things I know can carry Rock Slide or Stone Edge. I didn't want to take one of those, so I went ahead and I pulled out, and I went straight into Katie, thinking maybe I could scare it. Because it might think that I'm carrying the Giga Drain or the Reno or something like that. He does go for Ice Punch, though. I was not expecting that. He gets the crit, which is the only reason why he did so much damage to me. But realizing that is a crit, I figured if I went for Cotton Guard, I would be able to survive another one. But he is going to withdraw. I'm not sure why he did. Oh, that's right, because I was trying to scare him out. So it did work, and he went into Cincino. And knowing that these things pack a lot of physical moves that don't hit very hard, but they hit a bunch of times, I figured Cotton Guard would be the best thing to do. So I went ahead, and you're going to see I'm going to max out my defense here, just to make sure that this Cincino can't do, any damage at all to me. Since this raises it by 3, it only takes 2 Cotton Guards to max you out. And as you're going to see here, I mean, look at this damage. It's like literally 5 per hit, which is still more than I'm regenerating, but it's not enough to scare me off the field at all. And since Katie is my Whimsicott is my big support Pokemon, I'm definitely going to leave her out here to keep getting support set up. So go ahead and set up the Tailwind. So whatever I bring into the field will have that good speed boost from the ×2 speed. Cincino does go for U-turn here, which even though I believe it's super effective, is not going to be doing... Oh, it's not super effective. I guess Fairy Resist Bug, is that true? Maybe it does. And goes into Togekiss. Now, I expected this to be a Para-Flinch Togekiss, so I'm going to go ahead, and as you're going to see here in just a moment, I'm going to go ahead and go for the Taunt, expecting the Thunder Wave. And since I do have Prankster, of course, my Taunt is going to go first. And then, there we go. That was the Thunder Wave I was expecting. So now this thing can't set up its Paraflinch combos unless it switches out. And expecting it to maybe switch out, I withdrew Katie and ended up staying in, which is fine with me. I go into Aegislash because now that it can't use Thunder Wave, I'm not too worried about it at all. And Air Slash is going to do almost nothing to me. I use this... what do I do this turn? I can't remember what I do this turn. He sends his Cincino out again. I go for Night Slash. So he sends out Cincino as I'm going for Night Slash because I do have negative speed on this Aegislash. I bred it to be as slow as possible. And Night Slash, I don't get the crit. Even if I got the crit though, I think that's still a 2-hit KO. I think it would have lived with like 5 HP or something like that. So I go straight into King Shield, hoping that I can get the attack debuff on it just in case I don't stay in for some reason. Oh no, that's right, but he went for Tail Slap. I don't know what he was expecting, but I am a ghost, and so that is not going to affect me. He goes for the Bullet Seed, I guess, just trying to see what he can do. Trying out different moves on me. He gets a crit, He's not going to get the flinch though, as you're going to see. I keep getting ahead. Those moves take so long to do. I keep getting ahead of them. So no flinch, and I'm going to go straight for another Night Slash because I figured how much damage I did last time, even without a crit, that this would be a dead Cincino. So there is Cincino down. And I believe at this point, she's going to send her Swampert back in. Yeah, because this thing has Earthquake. So I'm going to go ahead and go for King Shield, just scouting out whether or not it's going to go for Earthquake or not. And so there is my King Shield. And all these animations take so long. And then here comes the Earthquake. Now, he did a smart move here. He predicted me to switch in my Staraptor for the Earthquake, and for Ice Punch. But I didn't switch in because at this point I kind of... this is where I misplayed. So I'm not really sure what kind of attacks this thing can take. And I forgot, like I knew that Swampert was ground, but I forgot that that means that its Earthquake has stab and therefore does tons of damage. So I didn't switch out. But it's okay because I had protected. Or because he used Ice Punch. Now I stayed in because I was like, oh, I'm in shield form. I can take this, definitely. No, I can't. I died. So I've now learned. Stab Earthquake destroys Aegislash even in shield form, so don't try to eat it up. I bring in Katie, but I figure at this point in time he realizes that I'm not carrying a grass move because I would have went for one, most likely, when he switched out. So he does go for the Ice Punch because it is the most damage he can do, but as you're going to see here, after one Cotton Guard, the damage isn't actually all that good that he can do against me. I mean, don't get me wrong, for my physical wall, that's still great damage. Swampert's attack is beastly. But I'm going to go ahead and go for Cotton Guard one more time to max out my defense, just to make sure that these Ice Punches are doing almost nothing, because even though my HP is so much lower than his, I figured that I could actually outlast him if it came down to us just fighting each other one-on-one. And pop the Tailwind just in case I do end up switching out again, that I could have the speed boost, because I wasn't actually expecting to stay around it much longer. But now that I have both my Cotton Guards set back up, I'm going to be able to eat up all of the moves that this Swampert has for me, so he's not going to be able to scare me out at all. Sorry, I keep adjusting the camera a little bit, trying to make sure it doesn't look too weird. So I go for Moonblast, and I'm actually not upset about that damage. I can definitely... oh my gosh, I completely ruined it. I can definitely feint him with Moonblast before he can take me out with Ice Punches. And so realizing that, I decided to keep going for Moonblast, that I'd be able to outlast Swampert. Now this Moonblast is going to hit, again, do a little bit of damage. In comes the Ice Punch. Down to 17. Now I'm going to get my lefty's recovery, and I'm going to go for Moonblast again, of course, as I said I would. He stays in. Now I thought this one might have actually had a chance to kill. I don't know if it did, but it's not going to kill. He's going to live with probably literally like 1 HP at that point. But then it's going to turn around and I'm going to live with 7. And then after lefty's recovery, I think I have like 13 or something. 17. So I'm going to be able to go for one more Moonblast. And since I have Prankster, I can still set my Tailwind back up next turn if I do decide that I want to have Tailwind up. So that's definitely... was a great trade for me in the end. I was very happy with how that worked out. Katie putting in work in her first debut. Now once Greninja came in, I realized I was going to die, so I just set up the Tailwind because I knew I wouldn't. I'm not specially defensive at all, and so that's it. So I'm going to go down to the extra sensory here. There we go. Okay, sorry. Like I said, I keep getting a little ahead of the video. So poor Katie goes down. But she did work, so I can't even complain. So I'm going to go into Tank You here, because even if he has Ice Beam, I'm not too worried about the damage. And I went for the Thunderbolt, because I figured even if he switched into his Togekiss, Thunderbolt would be super effective. And sure enough, in comes Togekiss here. And at the Thunderbolt, now I was really sad about Togekiss coming in though, because after I did this I realized that it's no longer taunted, of course, because it's switched out. And that means they can set up a Paraflinch. I go for the Sludge Bomb, and I actually get the poison off, which is great. But since it's not badly poisoned, obviously it's still going to be able to Roost stall me. And sure enough, it has Citrus Berry and it goes to the Roost, so it's going to be pretty much back up to full HP, which is extremely annoying. So I realized at this point, my best bet, since it can keep roosting, and then in return it can't do too much damage to me, is to keep going for Sludge Bombs, just hoping to get a crit. Now it has a Psycho Shift, which I have never I have never seen a Togekiss with Psycho Shift, so that was really cool to see. Something I gotta look out for in the future because I didn't even know about that. So it cures its own poison and adds it to me, which really sucks. I'm like, crap, my Tailwind petered out, so now it's faster than me too, so it can roost. So I couldn't even hope to kill it with the second. If my Tailwind hadn't went out, I think there's a chance that this Sludge Bomb right here would have actually killed it. So that was such a big deal, Tailwind going out. I almost wonder if he knew, if she had wrote down how many turns the Tailwind had already went down, which I should have written down too, but I wasn't thinking about it because I was just kind of learning the team. I wasn't expecting to, really be pulling out some like crazy moves with them. But since these are Pokemon that I bred and spent the time on, I do know them pretty well, even though a couple of them I don't have too much experience with, like my Whimsicott and my Aegislash. Though I did misplay with my Aegislash pretty bad, I will admit. I definitely misplayed with Aegislash. So another I don't get the flinch this turn. I'm glad that he put the poison on me instead of putting the paralyze on me, so that he couldn't flinch me out. Because that was definitely a big deal. But as we're going to see here, he's going to keep roosting. He's going to keep getting HP back, and there's really not too much I can do except for stay in, because now that Aegislash is really the only other Pokemon that I can comfortably switch in against this, and even then it would have sucked. Goes for roost again, and at this point I was like, gosh, this thing, I need Starmie to kill this. Like, at this point, Starmie is really the way I'm gonna kill it. I know that Starmie isn't the bulkiest thing, and I don't know how much special attack this thing actually has, so I didn't feel too comfortable switching Starmie in on an Air Slash, because I didn't know if it had a chance to kill me, and if it got a crit, I pretty much would have been down. But I realized that at this much HP, F-Zero could actually come in and take it out instead, and I could preserve Starmie for the future, since she does have Life Orb and she'll be taking that damage. And Staraptor at this point has pretty much done work already, taking out that Darmanitan and now finishing off Togekiss. And since I'm choiced, I knew that there was absolutely no way it was going to outspeed me and go for a roost first. Now Noivern came in, and as I said, at this point, Staraptor doesn't really do too much against what he has left on his team. I keep saying he, it was actually a female. He does not kill with the Brave Bird though, sadly, and Draco Meteor is going to hit, so of course at like 46 HP, that's definitely going to take Staraptor down since he is not very bulky. And there goes Staraptor, but Staraptor, again, every match I feel Staraptor just puts in so much work. I can't even be mad about it. Now I sent in Misty because, I mean, he had the special attack drop, so I figured even if he went for a move, even if he went first, since he is Noivern, I wouldn't have to worry about dying to it, since he had the harsh drop. Thunderbolt is going to crit Greninja. I don't think that mattered at all, because my Starmie has one-shot Greninja with Thunderbolt forever, so I think it would have died either way. Now in comes Noivern. I didn't expect I would outspeed this, but at this point, I'm not going to switch anything into the Draco Meteor. And here's the cool thing. Since Noivern was the last Pokemon he had, and after Starmie, my last Pokemon is Garchomp, I believe. Is Garchomp my last Pokemon already? Yes. So now that he has the harsh drop from Draco Meteor, you're going to see here that basically what that means is his damage is gimped. That's what I'm getting at. So even though he has Draco Meteor, Mega Garchomp is good enough that after the -2, I'm actually going to live this Draco Meteor with 20 HP. And therefore, I'm going to be able to go for the Dragon Claw and get the KO onto Noivern, sealing me the victory. So, definitely, I was pretty proud of myself for making that decision of realizing that since Noivern was the last Pokemon left, and he seemed to be choiced. I'm guessing he was choiced, and therefore that's why he went for Draco Meteor onto Starmie, because I know they can get Dark Pulse and some other pretty good moves like Boom Burst. And even though Boom Burst isn't stab, I mean 140 base power isn't bad, definitely enough to kill Starmie if he wanted to. But realizing that there was a good chance that he was going to be choice scarfed into Draco Meteor, that he would use it on Starmie and he would either miss and I would KO it with an Ice Beam and get the victory 2-0, or he would hit and get the harsh drop, and then I would have a chance to live with LaFonda. Even with the harsh drop, since LaFonda doesn't have any special bulk at all, other than what she already has naturally as Garchomp, and Noivern's, I know, pack a pretty heavy hit with their special attacks. I didn't know she would live it even at the -2 special attack on Noivern, but sure enough she did and got the Dragon Claw KO, so that was pretty exciting for me. I was pretty excited about that. Predicting the Thunder Wave on Togekiss, even though that wasn't a hard prediction, that was another thing I was pretty excited about. And then also predicting the Darmanitan lead and Brave Birding and killing it was another thing I was really happy about. So I gotta say though, I made some misplays. I'm definitely noticing improvement in my skills, because there is a difference between my skill improving and then not knowing how to handle some new Pokemon. So yeah, so this match I'm very happy about. It was pretty much the opposite point of view when you think about it from the match I uploaded yesterday, because yesterday I was in Nerfskill's. I was literally in Nerfskill's position, where me and my opponent both played a really good match, but in the end I wasn't able to kill my opponent by like 20 HP or so, and then they turned around and killed me instead. Which was the Greninja who did Ice Beam and killed LaFonda, who OHKO'd LaFonda after I did Earthquake and dropped it down to like 7 HP, and like it was like 5%. Yeah, that was a great match. I'm still debating whether or not I want to put a Grass move onto Whimsicott to handle Pokemon like Swampert and Gastrodon and Quagsire. But the more I think about it, the moveset she has is extremely useful. Tailwind is really good because it makes Goodra's speed even not that bad. It does kind of counter Aegislash a little bit because my Aegislash is purposely bred to be as slow as possible. Though at the same time, since he literally has a terrible speed IV on him, even with the Tailwind up, I'm pretty sure most things still outspeed him. I got really, really lucky and actually caught a Ditto in the wild because, as you guys know, I don't generate Pokemon. And so I actually went and just caught Ditto after Ditto after Ditto after Ditto after Ditto until I got one that when I took it to the judge who tells you about IVs, that he had one where he said, but this speed stat is horrible, it won't get you anywhere fast. And I was like, yes! So I use that Ditto specifically to put the negative speed onto Aegislashes, or Pokemon if I ever want to do a Trick Room team or anything that benefits from being second, such as Pokemon who use Counter, Magic Coat, Metal Burst, and things like that. I try to put the negative speed gene on them, or IV, sorry, gene. It's basically a gene, but I try to put the negative IV on them so that they can use those moves to full effect, payback, things like that. So yeah, well there we go. That was the debut of the new team. I don't know how consistent they're going to stay because, like the old team, you will probably see Pokemon here and there change as I start to slowly make them more solid. Although I have to say their performance in this match was not too bad. My opponent's team had quite a few threats on it: the Noivern, Greninja, Swampert, Darmanitan, Togekiss, Technician, Cinccino's. Like those are all pretty deadly Pokemon. So I definitely was very proud of this team. There was a few veterans on here. I mean, Goodra, we already know she served one tour. So so she was just coming back. She was serving tour number 2. LaFonda, man's been on overtime. Straptor's been on overtime. Starmie's just plugging, working. It was great. It was a good match. I do have to apologize, Aegislash. I feel like I misused you. Don't hate me. You're a very technical Pokemon, and you're hard for me to use. But it was good. I have to say, overall, I was happy with this match. Again, guys, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I really hope you enjoyed the match. It was a really close one. I feel like those are the most exciting ones to upload. So if I can get a really close match, I try to do those before I do anything else. And yeah, if you have any ideas for the team or different Pokemon that I could switch in or out, to cover weaknesses maybe that I'm not noticing, or if you have a better idea for an item on Aegislash, because I don't know if I'm skilled enough, or if I even have my EVs trained the right way for my Aegislash to take the full benefit of weakness policy. So just let me know in the comments what you think I could do better with this team, and I will do that. I'll probably take your advice because I'm pretty new with the Whimsicott and the Aegislash. So, okay, guys, but I'll end it there. It is getting pretty long already. I'll talk to you guys in the next video tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And well, I already said it. There we go. Bye.